What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So excited to see you here. Listen. This is going to be a really good broadcast because I want to give you some insight, right? I want to give you the tea about being a trichologist. And so let me just get my little stuff together here. A little bit of housekeeping. If you are seeing me on Facebook, I am live on my regular Facebook page. I'm live in the two groups. That is the business behind the business of Trichology, as well as our private membership group. You are going to see on the screen. Actually, let me fix that. Listen, I'm also live on, let me see, join the membership. Okay, this looks good. If you look at the bottom of your screen, hey, how are you, Total Package? If you're looking at the bottom of the screen on Facebook, you are about to see the link. Did I fix it? I didn't fix it. Let me fix it again. Just this little bit of housekeeping. I'm so excited. I'm just like fumbling. Hold on now. Hold on. I got it. Okay. Once again, if you're looking on Facebook, we actually have the live link for our group mentorship. If you are live in Instagram on Trichology 911, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? So excited. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Have y'all been seeing our interviews? Like, we've done 4 interviews over the past weekend, the end of last week and Monday. And I'm talking about Power Pact. We had someone that focused, a trichologist, but that focused in integrative medicine. We have a trichologist that literally sat on her couch with our training. Good morning. With our training, and literally made over $1,000 a week. She's a trichologist, full trichologist, and has never touched a client ever. Never touched a hair loss client because she started in the middle of the pandemic. We had another trichologist who went from a small suite to over 1,300 to 1,500 square feet, and she's made 5 figures in a week. And then, oh my gosh, I don't know if you can still see me on Instagram. And then we also had a trichologist that actually was able to make her money even through sickness. So we're super excited about that. Let me adjust some things. I'm on live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stop calling me. That was my son. Oh my gosh. You hang up on the kids that keep calling back. Okay, real life. Okay, so I'm so excited. I don't know if Instagram can still see me. Let me know if you can still see me. It looks like we're having a little trouble, even though I put it on Do Not Disturb. So this is still housekeeping. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. This looks a little beat up. Discard. Okay. Everybody can hear me. All right, it's looking good. Let's see. Go live. Check our connection. All right. So we have definitely, okay, you can hear me. So we have definitely had some really good interviews. As many of you know that are close with me, followed me or whatever, you know that I had a healthy hair day on Saturday. In various groups, in some of the groups, I put in there that it was a failure. Now, we had some people that was like, failure? You didn't fail. It was just a winning situation. Just to play on words, listen, it was really a success. Now, let me tell you why it was a success. Honestly, it was a free event, right? It was a free event. There were paid options. So if you wanted to be scoped, of course, it would cost a small fee or whatever, like $25, right? And I would scope and just allow you to see what I'm seeing and just kind of discuss that. However, right? The person that paid showed up. There were a few people that got several tickets and did not show up, right? And the thing was, in the eyes of, like, I guess, outsiders, it would look like I failed. But the preparation, um decoration was cute, but the preparation, my knowledge, being able to really show up, everything that I put together to make it a success, I'm literally able to take that same concept and host it again. And this time I'll know how to get more people. Hey, Marcia. So listen, I had the client. Now, this is where we get into the three things that I learned, being a Black trichologist. And I've learned these things, and I've been shown these lessons over and over and over again. But I do want to share them with you. Being Black in trichology is a thing, right? Now, it's more than just a thing. Like when we say, oh, there's a lot of Black trichologists, or all that other stuff, or when you're a stylist and you become a trichologist. No, bigger than that, right? So I have been taught lessons. I have been challenged by clients solely off the fact that when they found out who I was, they didn't believe that I was who I was. You're gonna get it in a minute. So I learned several lessons, but three that stood out to me this Saturday, I'm going to share them with you. Okay. Again, if you're looking on Facebook, you see the link to sign up for group mentorship. It went up from 6 weeks to 12 weeks. It is going to be absolutely amazing. You wanted to learn about insurance? I took that class off the table maybe 2 years ago. I'm bringing it back, but only in group mentorship. I'm not teaching case studies outside of group membership anymore, mentorship. So you'd have to do that as well. If you sign up between today and the 23rd, because I think today is the 21st. If you sign up before the 23rd or by the 23rd, you are going to save $1,000. And you still have the option of using a payment plan. So get on it. Super excited about that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Like the downloads, like the things that I'm getting, the insight that I'm getting, absolutely crazy. So I cannot wait to work with my next group of heavy hitters. Just going back, I'm gonna go back to the topic, but if you look at everybody that I interviewed, go to my YouTube channel, Maisha Edmond, you are literally going to see how people that have been in trichology program for over 3 years literally hooked up with me, finished the program in months, and literally are making 5 figures a week. I'm so excited about the progress. People are coming out with their own training academies, training programs, classes, making the money, inundated with clients. They're just like, I'm just winning, and I want you to win. So anyway, 3 things that I learned about being Black in trichology. Number 1, that I have to know my stuff. Let me show you. Yes, go ahead to the YouTube channel. It's also on my Facebook, but go to the YouTube because then you can binge watch. They good, child. Okay. So listen, the first thing is know your stuff. So let me give you the backstory. On Saturday, the client comes in, or the guest comes in for the event. She walks in very slowly, and immediately you see surprise on her face, right? Now, I'm like, I know you read that my name was Maisha. I don't know what you thought you was getting. Whatever, right? She comes in and she's looking and she's like surprised, right? So I have what I call my Bentley. It's plugged up. That's my laser that has all the bells and whistles, you know what I'm saying? It has the scope on it, is the laser, medicine sprayer, right? So she comes in, everything's set up. She comes on in, I'm in scrubs, light jazz is playing, refreshments, blah, 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 blah. She comes in and she's automatically very tensed, right? So, I greet her, shake her hand, nice to meet you. Yes, I'm Aisha, you must be such and such and such, right? She has a seat or whatever. So I begin to ask her questions, and I'm talking to her because she had actually called me and texted me. And now this is the funny thing. She is a person, and I appreciate clients like this. She's a person that is going to research and study. But she's also one that, to see if you know your stuff, she's going to come back around and ask you exactly whatever she read on the Google. Okay. So I was offering scoping. She wanted a porosity test. I'm like, really, this, not that, but I will give you a porosity test. Now, I'm just going to do the water test because that's what I'm going to do right now. So I let her know, yeah, sure, I'll do the porosity test, just add this amount, blah, blah, blah. So she says, she texts me, she says, well, should I rid my hair of all products and debris? Like verbatim from the internet, right? And I'm like, sure, definitely. She's like, and should I make sure that I don't have any leave-in conditioner? I'm like, absolutely, right? Just being very kind and everything like that. So she comes in, she's done whatever she needs to do. I'm looking at her hair. I'm talking to her and everything. I begin to scope her. I let her look at the screen as I'm scoping. I'm letting her know what I'm seeing, right? And I'm really breaking it down. However, every time I said something, she would interrupt me and she would challenge me. So, like, I'm here for it, right? And it wasn't like surprising because I've been through it before, but it's been a long while, right? So she's challenging me. Well, I use such and such a product, and my naturopathic doctor said this, and I have this and I have that, and I understand this and that. And in the medical field, da 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 da. Now this gonna get good to you. This gonna get good to you. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'm talking to her and I'm letting her know, what's going on. I'm asking her questions. Is there any burning? Is there any itching? Different things. Let me know about the hair fall. How does the shed look? Blah, 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 right? And she's like, oh, it's just so much hair and blah, blah, blah. And this is why I need to know what's going on with my hair. And I'm like, no problem. So I look at her scalp. I give her a quick assessment. I'm doing the porosity test and I sit and I'm speaking to her because we got time, right? So we're talking and everything. And she's like really trying to drill me. She's really going in like, oh, but with the blood work, you have to understand ABC, what she was saying. And I was telling her, listen, blood work is really not meant to let you know what's coming. You're usually like in the midst of the thing when it shows up on your blood work. And I said, and I know that you are healthy for your body, but for your hair, you may be deficient. Sis leaned back like, oh, that makes sense. That's interesting. But did you know this, this, and this? And so, it's nice. It's nice. I'm feeling a little push, but it's nice. So we're talking and everything. And I kept saying, well, I know that but in the medical field, because you're in the medical field, blah, blah, blah. Can you tell me why? This, I said, so you're a doctor, you're a nurse? She said, no, I'm a physical therapist. Child, come get me. Come get me. She was trying to drag me through the mud about what I knew and why I knew it and why I was wrong. And this one uses this. And why do I use that? And the whole thing, right? But it was like, after a while, it wasn't malicious. After a while, it was like she just wanted to be sure that I knew my stuff. So the first thing that I learned and that I was reintroduced to as a trichologist, a Black trichologist, or being Black in trichology, is that some people, even other trichologists or even dermatologists or people that are not in your sphere of influence and people that may not respect what you're doing, they're going to challenge you. They're going to challenge you. So you have to know your stuff. You have to study. You have got to study, because I'm talking about everything I said. She had a rebuttal, and she had like a different kind of well, I thought this, well, I know this. So she was using some product. She used some product. She got a hair analysis. I'm thinking that it's recent, but as I'm speaking to her, I say to her, well, how long ago has it been since you've received your analysis? This lady said 10 years. Let that sink in. She said 10 years. So there are people that are going to come in your space with an antiquated amount of information, but because they don't know who you are or what you represent, they're going to stand on that. But you have this awesome opportunity to change what they think, or introduce them into, what's really good. 10 I never heard of the shampoo or conditioner. It's fully cosmetic. The products were fully cosmetic. So she was like, "Oh, what do you see?" I said, "Definitely, I see telogen effluvium, but internally, because you spoke with your naturopathic doctor, the DHTs are high, and you are anemic. This is what I'm seeing. Blah blah blah." So I'm letting her know, okay, now, because if you don't work on the inside, what's happening on the outside is not going to help. She had some things going on the outside, but like her internal was really like impacting it. But 10 years, it was a cosmetic product. It did not address anything that she had going on. And I said, you might want to go back to that company and get you a new analysis. So number one, know your stuff, right? Show up, right? The number two is presentation is huge. Now, I could have been sitting in there, looking all crazy, like, oh, I don't know if anybody's coming, dressed how I'm dressed, looking how I'm looking, feeling how I'm feeling. But when I tell you I was hyped, I had a slideshow, honey. I had a full presentation going in slide mode across the television, answering questions about the 5 types of hair loss that they will see at home, how to recognize it. I had the smooth jazz going. I was dressed in my scrubs. Of course, the place was immaculate. It smelled amazing, but it was the presentation. Presentation is more than just those external things, but also presenting in your confidence. Presenting in your confidence, right, is huge. Because if I did not come in the influence, in the power of who I know I am, she could have shook me. Because I remember times when I first started Trichology, not having a mentor, not having anyone that could help me, not knowing what it looked like. I didn't want to overstep and pretend I was a doctor, but I didn't want to stay in the realm of I'm a stylist, and because people are like, oh, you're just a stylist, stay in the stylist lane. But I had introduced myself and learned and taken some time to get some more knowledge. So I became a trichologist. I wasn't going to step outside of my sphere, but I wasn't going to let anybody diminish me like I used to. Come on. Because I used to let people tell me, well, don't nobody know what a trichologist is, so you might as well just give me the treatment. I used to let people tell me, ain't nobody going to pay for that. That costs too much. I used to let people intimidate me because they never heard of what a trichologist was. I used to let the faces that they made intimidate me when I said what my price was. I ain't got that problem no more. But presentation is huge because people believe what they see. So let me ask you this. What are you showing people? Listen, is it on your social media? Is it when and that's posting? Is it when you go live? How does that look? All those different things. How are you presenting? It is huge, right? And number 3, the third thing that I learned, right? So I said, know your stuff. So make sure you're studying. Number 2, presentation is huge. Number 3, and I want you to run with it and do not look back. Use tact in tight spots. Use tact in tight spots. What does that mean? She continued to challenge me. She continued to try to diminish what I was saying, because when she saw Trichologist, she thought something else. When she came in, she saw fabulous. She saw excellence, but it was in this. I don't want you to show up any less than who you know you are and who you know you can be, because other people don't believe it. Just let them catch up. You're the one that have to believe it. Just give them a little time to catch up. Give them a little bit of time to catch up. Everybody that I worked with, that I have been working with in mentorship, in the mentorship program, in several different classes, because I'm always, trying to, just impart different knowledge and experiences that I've had. Everybody that started had no idea what to do next. Everybody that started saying, you think I could do that? You think I could charge that much? Now they're making 5 figures a week, 4 figures a day, different things like that. Listen, it's really about you showing up. So I've learned several things being Black in Trichology. I remember, and this is not one of the things I wrote down, I remember when I first started, when I thought, and I always say this, when I started and I thought that $1,100 for 16 weeks was huge, but it really ended up being about like $47 to $54 a week. And I was like, okay, they getting the whole Trichologist for the low price of $47 a week. Like, this is crazy. I was promising this lady all this stuff because I was just so excited that she would give me $1,100, not even believing in the power of what I knew and how I could be a solution to her. And so I began to give things away. I gave away hair color, and I gave away weaving services, and I was adding tracks, and I was cutting hair, and she was coming 3 hours late, and I was doing all this stuff. And I know you saying that couldn't be me. That couldn't have been me. But listen, I was in this weird space as a new trichologist where I didn't know what I needed to do to make it work. So that being said, I would not have done that in my beauty business, in my salon business. But because I was a trichologist and I was trying to convince myself that I was worth the money, I allowed the outside and what people said and what they thought to diminish. And so I began to give things away. I always joke with my clients, and I'm like, listen, or like some of my mentees, and I'm like, listen, you set your price, you grab your broom and you start sweeping. That'll be $2,600, and you just start sweeping and let them figure it out. You don't stand there. You stand there, you looking in their eyes, you go, it's $2,600, but I'm gonna watch your kids, I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna clean your house, I'm gonna do your weave and all that. And what day is it? It's Tuesday, so it's so funny. It is $2,600, but I'm gonna give it to you today for only $500. And I got a payment plan. You can give me $1 a day for 500 days. Now you acting up because you don't really believe it and you're not standing in, where you are. Now, listen, your coach got a coach, right? So there are things that I was uncomfortable with, even as soon as, or as recent as last night. But I got over it. My price is the price. I'm about to let these new mentees have it. I'm talking about in a good way. They're going to learn about insurance. They're going to do the case studies. They're going to get every single tool. They're going to have the powwows. It's going to be absolutely amazing, right? But I had to step into this space where when I was done at 11:56 last night, setting up the sales page, making sure everything was what it was, setting up buttons, making sure people could have payment plans so they didn't have to pay the money all at once, or allowing them to be able to pay the money all at once. Once I did all that work, I said, I'm doing this thing. If you look at the interview from 5 o'clock yesterday, Letitia Buchanan, you're gonna see. She said, I would reach out to Maisha, ask her questions, and she would give so much that I would feel guilty because I wasn't paying her. Now, this is the crazy thing. People don't feel guilty. If you're gonna give it, they're gonna take it, right? So you have to know that, right? And that doesn't mean that I don't want to help. But even in your business, are you going to allow people to pick your brain? Are you going to allow them to come in? Oh, like I used to have this lady say, oh, you can practice on me. Practice? I got 2 daughters and a mannequin. I don't need no more practice. But people will kind of like impose these things on you. So as a Black trichologist, or being Black in trichology is a thing. Because a lot of times, and not for everybody, but a lot of times you're somewhere in the beauty industry. A lot of people that I train are coming from cosmetology itself. And they're transitioning and adding in trichology services, right? So they're still thinking like hair salon. They're still thinking, pricing like hairstylists, right? And so there's such a big leap in mindset. There's such a big leap and adjustment in pricing and confidence in what you do. However, the things that you can use. I want to show you how to do that. For the next 2 days until the 23rd, you are going to be able to save $1,000 off of Group Mentorship Summer 2022. You're going to be able to do that, right? Not only that, if you need a payment plan for that, you still got it, but you got to sign up between today and the 23rd. After that, there is an early bird. Early bird, you save $500. It's still good. And there's a payment plan. And then finally, you have your general registration. So I'm admonishing you to click the link in my bio, or if you're on Facebook, I want you to go to the link that is here. And I really want you to just kind of look at it. See where you want to be. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to change? If you have 12 weeks, if you can invest 12 weeks in yourself, then you can guarantee 5 years, the next 5 years of amazing results and growth in your trichology business. If you can invest 12 weeks over this summer, you literally can change the trajectory of where you're going in trichology and see something different. You know that you desire to live different. You desire to drive different. You want to have more time with your kids. You want to be able to, go to sleep and wake up to money and have different things. I'm teaching all of this in trichology because one of the things that I missed, and I think that, people feel like, if I taught you a skill, you're on your own, go ahead. But as a witness of being one that kept quitting. I quit trichology 7 times. Don't be me. I quit 7 times because I just could not make it make sense. How do I make it make sense business-wise? How do I make it simplified? How do I make the clients understand? How do I transition clients? How do I attract new clients? What do I do? And so I was able to really document everything that I have gone through, everything that I've experienced, everything I've learned over these years through trial and error and failure. Let me tell y'all a secret. When I first started like doing classes, now don't judge me, I would put up a flyer for a class And if I didn't get anybody to sign up or say something about the class by the end of the day, see, y'all gonna judge me. I don't even want to tell y'all. All right, I'm gonna tell you, but I'm only gonna tell you. I would literally go back to wherever I created that flyer and make a thing that says sold out and have a whole I would have a whole thing saying thank you to everybody that registered. I can't wait to teach you in class, and then get rid of it. Because I was a quitter. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody would help me. Nobody would have a conversation with me. Everybody was in competition. So they felt like if they told me something that I was going to be better than them and all this other stuff. Listen, I don't live where you live. And even if I did, I'm me and you're you. So I literally would put stuff out and take it back. Put stuff out and take it back. Even with Trichology, I would be talking, oh yeah, come to the salon and I do Trichology and I can grow your hair back. And people wouldn't come, and then I would just stop talking about Trichology. I ain't have nothing to say. Nothing. Don't ask me about Trichology. Don't say tricycle. Don't say try again. I didn't want to hear about it. It wasn't until I said to myself, Maisha, find a hole and fill it. Find a hole and fill it. Everybody's not going to be able to teach Trichology. You did not become a trichologist to teach Trichology. There are enough people teaching Trichology. Not that you can't do it, but where is your hole? What lane is empty in Trichology that you need to fill? You need somebody to help you figure out how to get in that lane, make it your own, and run it smoothly. Every day for 6 months to a year, I would get up and say, Trichology is easy. I'm going to find a hole and fill it. Sometimes I will be walking down my hallway and stop and be talking out loud to myself. What's the hole? I know my family was like, what's wrong with her? What's the hole? What's missing? And I would stare at videos and I would look at the books and I would think about Trichology and I would look at different business models and I would look up different trichologists. And I'm sitting there like, okay, what is it? What is it that's not being talked about? And I literally had to stop looking at everybody else and look at me. What am I struggling with? What am I struggling? What am I missing? Why is it that Friday I ended clinicals, took my picture with the owner of the school, excited, and walked out with a pit in my stomach? Because I knew that on Monday when I went back to the salon, and after everybody congratulated me after I posted my certificate, and after I put up that great blurb about finally finishing Trichology and I could grow your hair, I knew that on Monday morning, I would be sitting in that salon waiting for somebody to ask me, could I grow their hair back? I was hoping that they would, but they never called. So then I was trying to figure out how to do it. Then I was like, well, maybe I should teach Trichology. Or maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do this. And I was lost. So I began to really map out my process. This is what I learned. And everything that I learned, I literally wrote it down. Let me show you. It's no joke. This is a 5-subject notebook of nothing but Trichology. And I don't know if you can see it on Facebook, but ideas, problems. I'm going to share this with you. I wrote down brush therapy. Child, this is so old. Brush therapy, 1 to 2 minutes, brings sebum to the surface, increases scalp circulation, stimulates corrector pili muscle, allows absorption of product. I was going in. That just gave me chills. Then I wrote myself a protocol for how to use it and what to do. How to do it. Shampoo the client with the specialized shampoo of my choice. Use a cold liquid stimulant that opens the follicles. Towel blot and use the derma roller. I haven't used a derma roller in years. Apply the treatment, laser, scalp mask, oxygen, etc. as directed. I literally begin to come up with my protocols. Now that was free. I know somebody gonna rewind that and use that, but go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. But I got more of that in group mentorship. I literally have all this because I had to find a hole and fill it. What's your hole? What is your hole? Look at this. I literally, the 3 things I did that cost me over $1,000 as a new trichologist. No contract. No explanation of services, no phases. I literally was out here with everything that I learned, everything that I acquired. If a client said they were coming to me, I threw it all at the wall and hoped that it worked. I had no structure. I had no systems. I had no plans. I literally had no contracts. If you came today and didn't come tomorrow, I was just out of luck because I did all this stuff and I bought all this stuff because I thought that, you would have integrity and you were coming. And so this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to buy all these products and then I'm going to give them this and that, and never had a contract. I didn't have explanation of services. So I gave away more expensive services and products that constantly had me coming out of pocket. I just kept buying stuff. I just kept giving stuff away because I had no explanation of services. I didn't say, okay, if this is working, we're going to pause here to make sure that we're getting the maximum out of it. And then when you begin to plateau, we'll go to this. I didn't do that. I didn't take the time. I ran right out of school. Boom. I'm a trichologist. Went out and got myself an office. Went out and got myself some rent. I was closed in a month. Quit again. Quit again. I would put on my lab coat and drive down the street, child. Take my key and open them people's building, walk down that hall and turn to the left and go in my office. Pretty carpet, curtains everywhere, massage table. It smelled good. Had my desk up, my printer, a thing full of daggone printer paper, ink everywhere, and one thing of products. One little box of products that I got from this company. Waiting to sell somebody these products and sell them a program based on what this company said I was going to be able to do. Go out to lunch, have a lunch break because ain't nobody come. Came back, sat around again till it was time to get my kids off the bus. That lasted a month. Paid rent for nothing. Had a grand opening and everything. People came all the way to Long Island from Brooklyn. They was bringing chicken and balloons and cards and hugging me, and this is awesome. But I didn't have what I needed to sustain myself. I didn't have what I needed to make this thing work. When I talk to my clients, when I get text messages at 6:49 in the morning saying my class just sold, I got a student. I don't care if I get one person. I'm teaching you like you 1,000 because I need you to win. Trichology is easy, but it's only easy if you have the right system, structure, tools, the right processes. I had no phases when I first started. I'm talking about being Black in trichology because we think that, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm telling you what I thought. I thought that because I was gifted, creative, talented, that I would be able to pull it off with nothing. So I threw everything at it to see whatever stuck. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. There are things that you are skipping over that you're not using because you are being distracted by the shiny stuff. What somebody else doing. They came out with a product line. They came out with this. They doing this. When you literally could take a standing magnifying glass with a light on it and make a lot of money. but I didn't know what to do. I had no phases. So I kept doing services until the client was satisfied. I'll be coming back saying, I know they was supposed to be over in 16 weeks, but I think that, if you want to, you can just keep coming back. You ain't got to pay me no more. I'm talking about what I did. I was a whole mess. So when I say that my VIP day is available and I let you know how much it is, if you can't do it, it doesn't make me say I shouldn't do it like it would before. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. Or when I let you know group membership is open, because it is. It's open for registration. And we starting on July 22nd. Hey, Dream Beauty. Yeah, when I say it's open and you can save $1,000 for the next 2 days, I mean that. And if it's one of y'all, you're going to get all of this because I got to see you win. I got to see you win. I got to. So being Black in Trichology is the thing. But I don't want you to diminish who you are. I don't want you to show up any less. As a matter of fact, you need to be blazing. You need to be blazing. And you want to do it in such a way. Look, remember, I told you I'll put classes out. People wouldn't sign up in the first 1-2 days. I would say it was sold out and get rid of it. I was just lying, child. I was just lying. Lord, forgive me. I was lying. I was just like, why is it not working? What am I doing wrong? Why am I not able to, make this thing work? And it wasn't until I found my hole, that hole in the trichology realm, and filled it. So I hope I've encouraged you today. Remember, being Black in trichology is a thing. It taught me know my stuff. Presentation is huge. And use tact in tight spots. Don't be going off on these people talking about that's why you bald-headed. Don't you do that. Don't you tell them that if you knew everything, you would have hair. Don't you do that. That might be how you feel. Don't be telling them people this. But I want you to really use tact in tight spots. And a tight spot might be that you have been doing this thing, but you still don't have the response that you thought you were going to get. Right? Ain't it right? But that doesn't mean that if you don't keep going, it's not going to turn for you. I went from talking to myself. I went from going live to myself, not having anybody to talk to on live, to literally people that I've never met telling other people, you need to go to Trichology 911 University. You need to meet Maisha. People from other schools saying, when you're done with this, you need to hook up with her. She's a coach. She's a mentor. She has this class. She has that class. And people have been doing, I went from nobody knowing me to expanding my sphere of influence. Don't lose it in tight spots. Don't be out here calling these people bald-headed. Don't be out here talking about they got 2 strands of hair. You might feel like that, but don't do it. You got it. So the things that I learned, I'm still learning, being Black in trichology. And there are things that are deeper. There are things that are deeper. But they rated R for ready, right? So if you are in group mentorship, I'm going to give you all of that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a great day today. Listen, click the link in my bio if you are on Instagram. And I want you to join me for group mentorship, 12 weeks to actually shape the next 5 years of your trichology life. You will not be sorry. Save $1,000 in the next 2 days. After that, you can save $500. There are payment plans available. I'm so excited for where you're going and what you're doing. Have a great